This community baffles me sometimes with how they think. People don't realize that at the end of the day, Konami's a company and they need to hit cards so they can actually sell new product. That is what my premise of the ban list was hitting a lot of the top decks and hurting them so hard where their power plays are super weak so they can sell new product. That's how Konami always does things. We saw this in the past with the January 2020 list. We saw it the April 2020 list, and we've seen it multiple times in the past. People say that a lot of the bans that they've done in the past few months were unwarranted, which they actually were warranted because the reason and the fact that they'd rather kill the top decks so the other decks can come in and show up. It's one of those things where Konami needs to make that decision where how do we want to kill this deck and are we still making money off of it? That's my process off of it. Drytron, they could be in Maximum Gold Eldorado, but I really don't see that happening because they fell off in popularity and now they're back because the format is less powerful than it was and the top decks are Tri Brigade. Cool. You also have other decks like Drytron and Prank Kids all at the top 3, which to me says a lot. Now, when you look at the tops, here are the tops. I always judge my ban lists. I am harsh on the top 3 decks. Then for the decks under it, not really so much, only like 0 to 1 hits. Then the rest doesn't really matter to me. Now, when we look at my predictions, I put Tenki Revolt to 1, and they also opted to put Zeus to 1. Tenki and Revolt to 1 hits the consistency and the power of the deck, so you can only do that play once, outside of people doing it 2 to 3 games if the games last that long. Drytron, I was super harsh on them because I'd rather have people explore instead of just playing fairy spam. Diviner the Herald is a great option for the deck because it gets to your pieces, but also it sets up a few planes where you use Cyber Angel Benten and itself going to Beatrice to get a card that gives you a +2. And Imperial Order, everyone's complaining about, well, mostly everyone's complaining about it because it's a power card that just says, I flip up, oh, you can't do anything after it resolves. And then there's Prank Kids, Meow Meow Mew. Konami can't sell this deck. They can't. It's been 4 years. They can put it in Maximum Gold, but that's just a waste of space. The only thing a Prank Kid in the Megaton is Meow Meow Mew, and that's it. That's not a lot just to sell Prank Kids. That's not enough. And then you have Nadir Servant hitting that because, yeah, that hits the power of Dogmatica Invoke Shaddoll, so they can sell Despia more. You see how that works? You hit one engine, they sell another. That's what I've been wanting Konami to do, was hit an engine so they could sell another one down the line or another one currently. That's how it works in my opinion. That's how it actually works. And people say, oh, why don't you bring up these cards that are forbidden or these other cards? One of my great friends once said, lots of people claim to wonder why this certain card is still forbidden in the current meta. And he goes on, I really don't think they've read the card and what it can do and what it could impact on the format. Way back when, let's give the example of Yatagarasu. People played Toolbox Monster Mash now, and theme played is encouraged, so it doesn't matter how many answers are currently available in the meta, it is a single card with a win condition. If you don't have answers, that's pretty much your problem. Besides, they've been trying to curtail things like FTKs and other decks so people can have fun again. And why release a card off the list right now that aren't fun? Give the cards time. Because when we look at the past ban lists, that's what people were like with, oh, where's Tribe Virus? Where's this card? I want this card back. Do you have to give those cards time? Like, oh, that grass looks greener. Everyone wants it back. But no. Konami doesn't want people not to have fun. Even with grass, they don't like going through every single 60 card deck list. Because, sure, it creates diverse metagames, but they don't want to sit there and go through every single list. Because what they do for ban lists, they grab every single deck list, sort them out by what deck it is, and go from there. I know a bit of this because one of my wonderful friends, they work at Konami. They even have tournament reports saying, oh, this card was in way too many decks, and this card wasn't in any decks. And that's one of the factors, are the deck lists. So that's why you see things like Meow Meow Mew, it's a 3 of. Ben 10 is in every single build. Eva's a 2 of. Tenki's 3, Revolt's 3, Zeus is 1 to 2. The decks that run 2, they're gonna lose 1. Nadir Servant's in 3 of. And Imperial Order is pretty much popping up in everything except Drytron and Invoke Shaddoll. And to me, that's a problem. Because it hard counters those two decks from functioning. Now, when we look at other things, people say, oh, Misc hit was not right. They should have done Oviraptor or Fossil Dig, or both. Do people realize back in 2017, they hit Miscellaneousaurus and it killed Dino? There you go. They did what they did in the past, and it curves them down, where they only have had 4 tops as full format. And this is just top 32, top 16. And that's kind of like people saying, oh, Pankotop's 3. Do you really want the best going second card to return? That's a 2-for-1. That's my question. Now, other things that I didn't bring up in my prediction video were some of the Pendulum cards that someone had a discussion with me last night in the comments of that video. Perform Pow Plushfire, this can go to 1 easily. Monkey Board, it won't do anything anymore. It can go to 3. Then you also have things like Astrograph Sorcerer. This thing can stay where it is, and Kieran can stay where it is. Lunalight Tiger, this can go to 1 because a lot of the rank 5s and 4s that utilize it, primarily a lovely Azathoth, is banned. Then other things that we have that are pendulum-wise, Skullcrobat Joker can go to 3, and Double Iris will go to 3. And things like Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, this can go to 3 because it has the errata on it. Also, Serpent of Endymion can go to 3. A lot of these cards can go to 3. The only one that I'm iffy about is Heavy Metalfoes Electromite. You can put it to 1, but I'd rather keep it here for now until all the Pendulum monsters that Konami wants off the list are off the list. So when they come back, they can make a whole entire set just for Pendulums and reprint stuff. And people are like, oh, how about the Dragon Rollers? Blaster's fine. I would love to see Tidal again. But then there's Redox. This is the one that always gets me. Do we bring back Redox? The question is, that's the question. Yes or no? Right now, I'm at a maybe, because decks like Adamancipator can run it, and Prank Kids. But Redox is going to be the last one that they bring back out of the 4. Because Tempest, we've had that for a while. Blaster might be coming off now. And Tidal is going to be a little bit later after that. And for the 5th Dragon Roller, Destrudo, because he's a level 7, I still think he can come to 1. because he pays for half your life points to summon it out from your hand or graveyard. And sure, it's an instant Link 2 or an instant Synchro 7. You're only going to be making Hulk, and that's it. It relies on a Foolish Burial, a Dragon Shrine, or an Armageddonite, or even Dark Grepher. But a lot of those options aren't that good outside of the Foolish Burial Dragon Shrine, because that only makes it where you can work into those cards, which is a little harsh with Dragon Shrine. And then one of the final talking points, Block Dragon. People want this to come back to 1. Do they not remember what it did? It gave Adamancipator a +3 on their opponent's turn, along with IP. Even during your turn, it was a +2. You get 5 free cards off of it, which is virtually insane. But those are my thoughts. And to round up the Eternal format, Harp can still go to 1, or it could even go to 3. It won't do a thing. And then you have Colossus. This thing can't come back because it is a walking floodgate with protection that you can run a Thunder Dragon engine in anything that you want, because that's how good it was. But enough rambling. I am tired of this topic now. Clearing up a lot of things from this video. And if you have any questions, please comment down below. And some of these people down here, really good takes like, oh no, Dragoon hit. I don't see them hitting Dragoon. I really don't. Then if you ban Eva Ben 10, you can limit Beatrice. That's true, but that means Konami will have to do something with Virtual World because they might run 2. Yeah. Imperial Order should have been more harsh. And all that. But anyways, see you guys in the next video.